Well, hello again, everybody. It's me, Larry, here, and I'm in our actors room. As you can see, coming along, and you can see we're starting to get it all organized. It's all nice and clean now. Almost. There's a lot more stuff that needs to come in here, but this is going to be the darkness actors room. And this is, we're going to rearrange this board. We're going to have to rearrange the board too, because we're going to have a new haunt to replace the TerraVisions. But look at it, it's all starting to come together now. We have to do a little bit more work. And then here's a bunch of chairs and places for the actors to sit. And we've added a couple horror posters on the wall. This one's actually really cool. Yeah. So, and here's the back room. And it's going to have some of the shaker cans. It's going to have lockers if the actors want to use them. Looks like that one's missing the door. Yeah, it's a lot of stuff. Let's see if there's anything in here. Yeah, that thing is packed with makeup stuff. Look at that. Absolutely packed. And then as you can see, there's going to be a refrigerator in here and a water. We got to get water for it. We got to plug it in. We have to get electric. And here's some, I call them my carambos. And just different things you can shake and rattle, and some of those zappers, which I think are fantastic. But yeah, look at the actors room. It's all coming together. It's all looking great. Absolutely fantastic. We need to get some more stuff put away. But let's go back. Let's look at all these masks we have. It's quite a few. And this is going to be the sign-up desk. And then look at the costumes. There's a lot of them. And it's a little bit hard to get in here. I almost think like it would be better if we could figure out how to get these moved back some, so you had more room to get in between. But yeah, look how many costumes we have here. Now we've got more of these grates right here, and we're gonna put them up high, and then we're gonna set some up over there and hang even more masks. But let's check out these masks. There's quite a few in here. I mean, it's no joke. It's a lot. And I mean a lot of masks. Just an absurd amount. And we have every kind of mask. So we have, half masks. We have foam latex masks. As you can see, we have silicone masks. And look at this. See, that's a whole wall of foam latex masks. And then these are all silicone. And there's quite a few of them, as you can see. And then there's like double levels of masks. I mean, like, what I mean is there's like one in front, one in back. There's quite a few. And by the way, this isn't even all of them. Okay, there's a ton more in storage bins over here that haven't made it in because CFX and Immortal Masks, I ordered more of those head forms and we never got them. So we're going to have to reach out to them. But you can see there's more silicone masks here. In addition to that, we have more silicone masks even upstairs, believe it or not, in our office. There's more. But we just need to get these head forms. And then we can get them all on bus and get them up there and get them working. But yeah. And believe it or not, there's even more in there. And I think there's still a handful, not even a handful, but I think a lot downstairs as well. So, but yeah, our actors room is coming together. We open this weekend. I know when people hate it when I do this, but we open this weekend, and so there's going to be makeup artists in here. They're also going to be moving things around, getting stuff like kind of sort of back where it goes. Another thing that is going to be happening in here is I have a electrician coming in here, and they're going to be like, do you see these lights up here? They don't really work, as you can see, those two. And then maybe that one works, and see, those two work. That one over there doesn't work. This one doesn't work. So we're taking all these out, all of them, and we're just replacing them. Simple as that, with brand new. We're also going to be running some electric in here. We need electric back there to plug in the refrigerator. We need maybe electric over there. I mean, you need electric here and there. And so all of that, I think, is getting done, I want to say Thursday. So there's more that we can do, more we are going to do. But yeah, what do you think about it? This was monumental, okay? And do you know what this used to be? This used to be our our Hauntworld room, where we sold where we had all of our magazines, all of our how-to videos, and we sold other people's books and things like that. So all of that was in this room. We moved it all out, and we plan on, and I've talked to Transworld about this, we plan on taking it to Transworld and just giving it all away. All of it, absolutely, 100%. And it's a donation to the haunted house industry, mementos, collector items, because, people do think of these, these videos and these magazines as collector items, believe it or not, because it just, makes you connected to the industry. And it's part of history as well. So we're just going to be giving it all away. We're going to be working with Transworld to do that. Sorry about that. So what do you think of the new actors room? So with that being said, wanted to show you our new actors room. I want to talk to you a little bit about the tour that we're going to have. I probably already brought it up before, but we're definitely, now that we've moved the actors room here, we're definitely going to be able to do a tour of our actors room, because let me show you this, because I want to show you so you understand where this is at for those who've been here before. So when you come up the stairs, see, then you hit this deck, and you turn and you go up the stairs again. All right, so it's right here. So basically, when we do the haunted house tour this year, and by the way, these stairs look awful, and I've been wanting to retheme them. It's almost like a running joke because we don't do anything with it, and it's, we always joke about how bad it is. I mean, look at it. It's just, junky, old, busted up vacuum form. And we always talk about redoing it, and maybe we will eventually redo it. But as of right now, today, it's not on the plans. But this is how you get to the second floor of the darkness. So let's shut this door. So when we have the Transworld show, okay, when we do our behind the scenes tour, we're just going to leave this door open. So you're probably like, why would I even need to come in here and see it? Well, number one, it won't look like this. because we would have run 2 events in here before Transworld. Krampus will be one, and the other one will be Valentine's. So we do plan on doing a lot more work in here. We have a lot more to do. We have electric to install, some organization that has to take place. I mean, you name it. We have to get it done. And by the way, do you see this right here? See, I can open this right here and I can see down into the haunted house. Now I'll show you something else that's kind of funny. Let's walk over here and I'll show you. All right, come around here. Our skull animation from Distortions. This is the controller for it. There it is right there. So look at that. Here's the mechanism right here. See, that's the big skull from Distortions. So that's where it is. See, there's the mechanism for it and everything. So that's how you access it. And now, it's going to be a little harder to get to it, but all the same, when we do this tour this coming year, for the behind the scenes tour, you know, when you do a behind the scenes tour so many times, you know, when you do a behind the scenes tour, so many times as we have, you know, you have to start asking yourself, well, you know, if, you know, should we do something different? Like, what can we do to add more value than before? And that's exactly what we're going to do. So it's going to be a whole new haunt. It's going to be the actor's room. We couldn't do the actor's room before for a good reason, because it was actually like, it wasn't actually on the pathway, but this is. So we'll have it open, only for the behind the scenes tour, and you'll be able to come in here, check out everything. We'll have somebody in here that you can talk to and you can look at everything and whatever. So when we do the behind the scenes tour, I'm expecting this to sell out super fast when it gets put on sale, because this year it's going to include the Limp, the Darkness, the actor's room, our brand new gift store, of course, but it's also going to include the St. Louis Escape. And we're also going to provide dinner. Because if you're going to stay with us for this long, because it would be 1, 2, and a seminar, 1, 2, 3, 4 hours-ish. Yeah, we're going to feed everybody. So it'll definitely be barbecue like we did last time. And so, yeah, we're really excited about it. Now, I don't know when these tickets will go on sale, but it'll be sometime in January. You got to give me a second to get the TerraVisions out and get it all kind of sort of half put back together. And then once we do, we can start moving forward. And then I'll have a better idea of what's going on, and we can put those tickets up for sale. I mean, I don't even know if we can get the new haunt done or not. So, but if we put the tickets on sale and we don't get the new haunt done, I guess it'll just be bypassed. So we'll have to wait and see. But our goal is to get it done. So with that being said, we will open the Limp with actors. We're going to open the Darkness with actors. But we're going to do something totally different this year. We're not going to rely on just, we're going to hand pick the actors this year. We're going to take actors from Creepy, actors from Limp, actors from the Darkness, and we're going to make sure that the actors are the best we possibly can put in. Which leads us to, and for some reason I'm feeling very dehydrated, so I have to drink a lot of water, you know, every day. It's good. So today's topic is, I think, very interesting. It's, we're going to talk about the haunted house ratings. We're going to talk about social media influencers. We're going to talk about a little bit about all of this, and so I want to explain a couple things. So I was talking to the guys from Scare Factor the other day, and I was trying to explain to them, and I'm going to explain it to you, that whenever you're raiding a haunted house, okay, you know, if you, I think that most people, when they have an influencer, especially like when they've announced themselves that, hey, we're coming on this day or we're coming at this time, whatever, for the most part, they get, you know, an enhanced show, you could say. You could also say a fake show, meaning like, you know, I've seen some of these videos and there's nobody in front of them and there's nobody in back of them, because you know what they do is it's very important to them. And so they don't put anybody in front of them and nobody behind them, and they stick them in. The actors all know, go after these people, go crazy and try to, you know, like maim, maul, kill, murder, injure, you know, these people. You know, in other words, do the absolute best, and they're coming through with a camera. And I think in some ways it's disingenuous, because you don't really know if that's what really happens there on a nightly basis. And you know, and I was talking to Tyler over at Scare Factor. He's a fun guy to talk to, and he literally told me that he went through a haunt. And, you know, he confirmed that what I'm saying is absolutely true. He said that he went through a haunt, and then he went through it, and he thought it was like the best show ever. And then he was telling all his friends, and he went back another day, you know, without announcing himself. And he said it was, you know, completely nowhere near as good. And, you know, so when it comes to like rating a haunt, now we're talking about from my perspective, okay? Like, how would I do a haunt rating? How would I rate them? Because I think that most haunts, if you watch enough of them on YouTube, you'll see everybody's pretty much doing the same things, except for some haunts are really good at, like, you know, they might have more theatrical aspects. So like when you go to, and I'm going to use Hell's Gate, for example, because I went there this year. The actors that are trying to scare you are, you know, I mean, look, they're doing the same things that every other haunt are doing, because there's only so many things you can do, okay? I think what separates Hell's Gate from a lot of other haunts is because they're stopping you in certain points, and they're interacting and they're acting. They're physically acting. That takes a lot of work. That takes a lot of effort. That takes a lot of, you know, get together and training and hoping those people show up every single night. And I think that's a separator. I think that's what really makes them really good. But like when, and I'm not picking on Hell's Gate, but when you go through Hell's Gate and you have somebody jump out and try to scare you, that's like what every haunt. So they're not doing it any better than anyone else is, because sometimes you get people who are really good at it, and sometimes you get people who are really bad at it, because a lot of it has to do with timing. And whenever you have 100 actors, 120 actors, you're going to have ones that are better than other ones, of course, right? And so they have good actors that jump out and scare you. They have ones that are just so-so. But, you know, what they really have above and beyond is they have a bunch of really good actors who interact with you. And they've got lines, and they're rehearsed, and they're practiced, and they're fantastic. You know, when I was there, it reminded me of like Jekyll and Hyde nightclub in New York, when, you know, like the people would come out and interact with you and talk to you. And yeah, the acting group over there at Hell's Gate is absolutely amazing. It's like a 10 out of 10 for sure. But my point isn't to say, you know, that they have the same type of scares or actor, because they do. Because every haunt has actors that jump out and scare you, and they jump out from behind a curtain, they jump, you know, like behind a wall, or, you know, they come out from behind you, or whatever it is. They all have them. And I think when you go to a 13th gate out in Baton Rouge, you know, again, this is the way their show's set up. Most of their actors are acting. I mean, almost all of them. They don't have very many actors that try to just jump out and scare you. They have actors right out in the wide open, and then they act the part of the area they're in. And I think that's great, and it makes it more theatrical. And so the point that I'm trying to make and the point I was trying to make to Tyler was that when you totally rely on just scares, like your whole haunted house is just about totally getting scares, you don't know from one day to the next if it's going to be good or bad. You really don't. And when you've been doing this as long as I have, it's over 35 years, you just don't know. Because you know what I told Tyler, I'll tell you the same thing. The worst weekend to go to a haunted house, and I don't care what haunted house it is, it's the weekend of homecoming. And that's usually like the second weekend of October. Because the kids just disappear. I mean, they just disappear. They want to go to homecoming. And so not all of them, but a big chunk of them, it's like, oh, what happened? We're down 20%. And then, you have to assume that the show might not be as good if fewer actors show up. And so this is a problem for every haunted house. So for me, being somebody that understands that any haunted house can literally fake how great it is when you just put in like one group, and then you literally have sometimes the same actor being seen 3 or 4 times. Okay, you're not really getting a genuine show. You don't know for a fact if this is the kind of thing that happens to every single person who walks through. You don't know any of those things. So whenever you're going to rank or rate a haunted house, and some of these websites that do this, here's my suggestion, okay? Buy your own tickets. Don't ask for free tickets. This is ridiculous. Don't ask for free tickets. Just show up unannounced, literally reach out to the haunt and literally say to them, hey, I can't tell you when I'm coming. I can't tell you if I'm coming for sure, but all I do want to know is if I come, could we get right in and could we videotape? That's it. And let them tell you yes or no, okay? And then you just randomly show up at a random time and a random hour, okay? And you go in. That's the only way to for sure know what it's going to be like typically. But at the same time, as I've explained to some of these people who like to judge and rate haunted houses, that sometimes you're going to just come on the worst night. It could be raining, okay? It could be homecoming. It could be the night before was raining on all the actors, and that actually has an impact on sometimes whether they come the next night because they'll say, well, we're sick or whatever. So there's just a combination, and it kind of depends too on what kind of haunted house you have. And I was just trying to explain this to different people who rate haunted houses as well. So when you go over to Lamp, let me give you an example. If you watch the video where I walk through and the actors jump out, at the Lamp, we have sliders. Okay, people sliding inside the maze. Why? Because the floor is concrete. We can't do that here at the Darkness. Why? Because the floors are wood. We can't do that at Creepy World. Why? Because the floors are gravel. You can't do that in a hayride because, you're on dirt. So you can't expect to see the same things at each haunt. I'll give you another example. Okay, these flying rigs are freaking great. They're amazing. And you might wonder, why doesn't this haunt have one? Why doesn't that haunt have one? Well, it probably has a lot to do with the ceiling height. Because when these people are flying over, they could kick your customers right in the face. They've got to be a certain amount of feet, okay, below the ceiling and then above the customers. Not every building has the ability to install these things. So yes, you're going to see different things in different haunts, and they're for a reason. You can't have sliders on dirt. You can't, you can't do certain things if your floor is wood, and you can do other things if the floor is. So for example, you could come to the Darkness and you could see flying rigs above because we have 16, 18-foot ceilings, but you don't see anybody doing something that you might see at Creepy World, because Creepy World, I'll just give you an example. If you watch the video that I uploaded, and I think I uploaded this to Instagram, okay, where a bunch of the actors, okay, and they do this every night, okay, this wasn't staged at all. And I think it might be on the video where I walk through all of Creepy World, but I'm not sure but I know that for a fact I uploaded it to Instagram, so you could definitely see it on Instagram. There's this scene in Creepy World where it's literally a gigantically wide and lengthy scene. We have the similar scene at Limp. But at Creepy World, my guess is it's 25 feet by 30 feet. And it's all these metal 55-gallon drums like welded up. And there's a way you get in and there's a way you get out. The way you get out is you go into the next maze. And so if you put enough actors in there, you could chase people around there forever, because like if you get in front of them, they go to the left, and you jump around another barrel and you send them going right. You can get them going all different directions. But if you actually watch the video, and I know I uploaded it to the Instagram, and it might be on the video where I went through all of Creepy World, you're going to see like a 1.5-minute assault on this group of girls, and they're running every direction. They're screaming their heads off, and there's literally like 5 actors with chainsaws just running out behind every barrel, chasing them every direction, and you actually can do that. Because it's outside haunt, you have a lot of space. But when you have an indoor haunt, you might not be able to have a room that big, so you can't do it. So when you go to Creepy World, there's things happening at Creepy World that are not happening at the Darkness. There's things that are happening at the Darkness that aren't happening at Limp, and vice versa, and so on and so forth. So it's just a combination of a little bit of everything, but it has a lot to do with the actual, limitations of the space. So for example, at Creepy World, we don't have any flying rigs out there because it would be really hard to do. Based on the layout. But a lot of actors like working at Creepy World because, it's mostly an outdoor haunt, and spaces are big and wide, and you can kind of go nuts. You have a lot of room to move. You have room to chase people. But you don't have that at the Darkness. You have a direction. You have mazes, and there's so much room. So every haunt is different. Every haunt is different. So for me, and this is just my advice to people who go around and rate haunted houses or whatever. To me, there should be a criteria. And, you almost can't compare an outdoor haunt, like, say, Field of Screams, to a haunted house, and I'll just throw one out there, like Netherworld. You can't compare the two because they're totally different. They can't be compared whatsoever. So I almost think like when you're rating haunted houses, you could legitimately say we have different categories. We have scream parks. We have indoor haunts. We have haunted trails where it's just nothing but a trail. We have some that are just a hayride. You have so many different types of haunted houses. So when you're rating haunted houses, I mean, there could be a certain type of haunted house that appeals to you more than another. This is why I think it's important that people have like a criteria, okay? Because you can make a criteria and you could give so many points for the performance. You can give so many for lighting or sound. I'm going to give you an example on sound. A lot of haunts, okay, might have animatronics, and you can hear them squeak, and attack you as they, squeak at you, because they don't have sound, because that costs extra, and it takes a lot of more effort and money to put animatronics and sound paired together on every single animatronic. Now, a lot of haunts I've been in, I would say, don't have sound on all their animatronics. That would take away from the score for me. At the Darkness, every single animation in here has sound attached to it. But yeah, you can have a rating for sound. You can have a rating for lighting. You can have theming. You can have, set design. Special effects, animatronics, costumes, makeup, masks, whatever. There's so many different categories. Originality. There's so many. I mean, you can't even name them all. There's so many categories that you could rate a haunted house by. But I would say, for me, the best haunted houses that I've seen, I can literally walk through a haunt, like, say, Dent Schoolhouse. And I went through Dent Schoolhouse with no actors at all, and it wasn't even turned on. And I got the gist. And I've heard people say, like, oh, They don't have, they have really great scenes, but their actors aren't the best. And I've heard that for almost every single haunted house. And, and a lot of times the haunted house that's saying it is because they're a competitor and they're like, well, the customers, they say, yeah, of course their haunted house is pretty, but ours is scarier. I've literally heard this, a million times, okay? This is like pretty much standard 101 for any city you go to. But when I go to like a haunted house like Dent Schoolhouse, I'm pretty sure that some nights, they don't have the amount of actors that they normally might have, or they might be a little slower because the night before was longer. It could be super hot that day, and see, that's something that people don't take in consideration, because that takes a lot of energy out of you, especially if you're wearing a mask. But I haven't seen it with actors, but I don't need to, because I go through that haunted house and I say to myself, 1 year could be a miss with the actors, and the next year could be like, Oscars across the board, because every year is different. You never know. And also haunted houses are, I think, because every year you get new crews, new staffs, new people, and you got a lot of the same peoples before. Sometimes, it's almost like a college football team, okay? So, like, if you have a team and you lose a lot of players to the NFL draft, or you lose a lot of players because they become seniors and they can't have any more college eligibility, and so now you're playing with a younger team, well, you're going to struggle a little bit. And so I think that's the case with a haunted house. And, as you get more experience as the season goes on, they get better and better and better. So you might have come kind of towards the early part of the season, but then by the middle or the end, everything's humming 100%. So I don't think when you're rating a haunted house, you can put all the emphasis just on the actors. I don't think that's fair. I don't think it's fair that, it wasn't scary, I didn't get scared. Well, haunted houses also are busy. That's another factor. You come on a busy Saturday night, some people are going to get more scared than others because there's a lot of people going through. Because I can tell you this, and people just don't understand this. They go, why you put them through so fast? Well, I can tell you that there's been haunts, and we won't get into the details, but they didn't put the people through fast. They had fights, they had shootings, they had this or that. I can tell you firsthand, that's a big problem. If you make people wait in line too long, they hate you. Okay, and then sometimes the customers get irritated, and they might get irritated with somebody in front of them, behind them, in front of them. Somebody might try to cut in front of them, and now you got all kinds of problems. You have to keep the line moving. You can't make people wait. That's just stupidity. So you got to keep the line moving. You got to keep things rolling. And you've got to set up your haunted house so that you can still make an impact, even if you're putting a lot of people through. I mean, think about Universal Studios. Okay, I mean, they're literally running them through like water. There might be 10,000 people going through one of these mazes. How many scares are they really getting? I mean, come on. A few here and there. So is it all about the scares, or is it about the experience? And see, I think this is one of the main things that these people that run around and raid haunted houses, and I'm not specifically, because I've mentioned Tyler, I'm not specifically talking about him. I'm talking about anybody, because you know what Elon Musk keeps saying on Twitter? He keeps saying, you are the media now. You are the media, meaning the people. And I just want to say this. Back when I was growing up, okay, they had movie reviewers, Siskel and Ebert. Movie studios would love to get 2 thumbs up, and they would advertise that in the newspaper, 2 thumbs up, or they might just say Roger Ebert, thumbs up. Okay, that means the other guy didn't like it. But back in the 80s, back in the 70s, in the 90s, okay, and probably even the early 2000s, movie reviewers were very important to your business. I mean, to a movie. And I would also say that the local media was very important as well to the success of your haunted house, because you needed free publicity to make it all work. But now free publicity is everybody. Okay, anybody with an Instagram page, anybody with a TikTok. I mean, a guy on TikTok could have 2,000 followers, he could come to the darkness, because this has actually happened. Somebody came out here and got, 1 million or 2 million views on TikTok from something he filmed out in front of the darkness. And then all of a sudden, this guy gets, 2 million views, 3 million views on some video that he took. Okay. And he tags you in it. So movie reviewers were very, very important back in the day. They're not important now. Nobody gives a crap, okay? Because they've got like ratings on IMDb, they have Rotten Tomatoes, and then they have Reddit. People leave, their comments on Facebook, and they say, "Oh, I went and seen so-and-so movie," like I've done, like Salem's Lot, that I only watched on HBO, and it was absolutely horrendous. But hey, it's free. If you want to like give yourself a brain migraine, you will go watch it for free on HBO Max. But here's the point I'm trying to make, because this is to wrap up this video. Is being rated on USA Today's top 10 important? No. And haunts, like, they want to get on these lists. All of these lists are fake. They mean nothing. So if you were ranked number 1 or number 6 or number 7, first off, no one cares, okay? No one cares. It doesn't help your business one iota. Not one iota if USA Today says you're number 1. Because I can promise you right now, they didn't come to your haunt. That's number 1. And number 2, it's just clickbait. All of these top 10 lists that people put out as clickbait. It's to try to get you onto their website, so you can see ads or whatever. It's all clickbait. They're not visiting any of these places. But some of these people are genuinely visiting and ranking and reviewing or whatever. But I can tell you the people that matter the most, and I'm just being completely honest here. Like having Grim Life Collective come out, I think is worth. They're definitely worth having come out. But when you talk about Grim Life or Carpetbagger or Tampa J or any of these people, I think it's an honor that they come out, and you definitely want to roll out the red carpet. You definitely want them to come out and have a great experience, okay? Because that can only build you getting more influencers to come to your haunt. And I can tell you this, like just getting back to Tyler at Scare Factory, this guy, there's no way he's making any money. He loves doing this. He's an absolute champion. I like this guy. He's freaking hilarious, and he's dedicated, him and his wife have dedicated themselves to going out and filming haunted houses because he loves it. Now, I'm sure he makes a little bit of money, but he's doing it because he loves it, of course. And I think what he's doing is fantastic, and I think it's great. And I would say that, that possibly could help you a little here and there. But I can tell you, like, for this Halloween, we had an influencer come out named Chewy, and he had 1 million views on TikTok. Not on TikTok, on Instagram. I want Chewy to come because I want to build my Instagram. And whenever, when he's got 1 million followers, he's got so many in St. Louis, so many here, so many there. And he makes people that may not be aware of me, but not a ton, because we don't know how many out of his 1 million are from St. Louis. But let's say he's got, 5,000, 6,000 fans in St. Louis. They might not be aware of me, but now they are, thanks to Chewy. And he did a fantastic video. It was an honor to have him come out. We had some other influencers. We had a YouTuber come who has, I want to say that he had like 3 million YouTube followers. He came out. He did a video of the darkness. He did a video of Creepy World. And you know what he said to me? He said, yeah, rough me up. Like, I want people to like go crazy. And so we told him that. So here's the final wrap on this vlog. Something I'm going to do this year, because I think influencers are really important. I think they're important too if you even pay them. Okay. And if you want Carpetbagger to come to your haunt and he's not coming to your city, is it a bad thing to pay him $1,500? Hey, let me pay your expenses to come here. No, it's not. It's not a bad thing. It's actually a great thing, because I think almost that you could market your haunted house exclusively with influencers. And I can tell you this, my mini golf was sagging a little bit. I mean, it's been there for a long time. And I paid an influencer $1,500. They did a video, got 1 million views. It was a St. Louis-based only influencer. It absolutely worked, and it was fantastic. And, you know, in hindsight, I should have had him come out and film Krampus ahead of time and do a video that Krampus, because I bet you that would have sold me, you know, hundreds of tickets. Just having the local influencers come, it doesn't do me any good that they come when we do the Krampus. You're gonna have to mock something up for them to come and see like some footage from Krampus, so they can do that for you. But influencers, I almost think like you could do no advertising at all if you could get a ton of influencers to come out and do videos. They charge. Okay, so when you want to get influencers, you can't be. It's not like I paid a lot of them. I've only paid one ever, but it works so well for my mini golf. I think maybe I should do influencers all the time now. Why not? And by the way, when he did the video on the mini golf, my St. Louis Escape Instagram page, the followers went up by several hundred. When Chewy did his video on my haunted house, I think it was at like 99,000 Instagram followers, and it went up like a couple thousand. So there is a lot of benefit to having these people come to your haunted house. And I think these people aren't trying to rate the haunts. They're just trying to get content for their page. But then, like I said, you have these people who want free tickets, and we had one website, and I can't remember the name of it. They said, oh yeah, I'm with so-and-so, and I went to their website, and they did have haunt reviews, and they write like a paragraph, and they're asking for free tickets. I just said to them, hey, you know, buy tickets, you know, feel free. Here's the website. We'd love to have you. Hopefully you have a great time. So no, I'm not going to just dish out free tickets to any old Tom, Dick, or Harry who says I'm an influencer. I had some Instagram girl telling me, hey, we want to get some people to your place. Can we get free tickets? She had, 2,500 Instagram followers. I don't consider that an influencer. What do I consider an influencer? Somebody in your local market, probably with 8,000 or more Instagram followers. Somebody with a YouTube page, especially if they focus on St. Louis, that would be fantastic to get them in. I think that people need to do the research and find all the best influencers around. And if you have to pay some of them, pay them. Or have a special event for them where they come and they get free food and free everything. You got to wine and dine these people because, they're getting asked by everybody in town to do videos. And they make a living by growing their page and promoting local businesses. So at the end of the day, I think it's very important. So this video has had two messages. If you are going to run around and rate haunted houses, understand there's different types of haunts. And I don't think a haunt should be solely based on the actors alone. That's not to say like, oh, we can't get a good rating because we don't have good actors. I mean, because I can tell you right now, if you would have come to Creepy World this year, I mean, you would have been you probably would have like a metal leg on and a prosthetic on one arm because the actors were insane. And I've got videos and I upload them to Instagram all the time. All of our actors were great. I mean, but I was mostly at Creepy World, so those are the actors that I saw mostly. But yeah, they were fantastic. But the performances in a haunted house can change. They can change on a nightly basis. So I think when we're trying to judge and rate haunted houses, we have to have a wide spectrum of categories to try to figure this out. I do think for all you people who own haunted houses, trying to find your way on some list doesn't help. And I can tell you this, which is really funny. And I like this guy too, okay? But, like the guy has the roller coaster, and then he says, oh, I'm having my annual like vote for who's the best haunt. Well, I mean, who drives the traffic to it? The haunts who want to be rated higher, and they tell their actors, they might post on their Facebook. But see, that's ingenious on the roller coaster guys. I think his name's Dan, maybe. Is that right? I'm not sure. Anyway, it's ingenious on him because he's getting you to drive traffic to his website. But I would say that most haunt ratings are done this way. It's to drive traffic to their website. But when you have a bunch of actors, okay, or you're voting over and over and over again, that's not a genuine list. A genuine list is where somebody who actually knows what they're looking at goes out, sees the haunts, has a category of the things they're going to judge it by, and impartially rates them. Does that make sense? And then when it comes to influencers, I don't think you're looking to get rated. I think you're just looking to get the influencers to come to your haunt and experience it, whether it's in the off season before you open with no actors or with customers, or a special night just for influencers. It does not matter. I think influencers are very important, even if you pay them. So with that being said, thanks for watching this video. And make sure you like and subscribe and leave comments below and tell me what other kind of videos you would like to see me make. But I can tell you this, the darkness has really benefited from having free publicity, whether it was being on Food Network, which I was on, or Travel Channel, or Shipping Wars, or whatever. None of that stuff hurts. It all helps. And you know how you get on some of those things or get noticed or get called for stuff? It's because of the other influencers. You're constantly out there. So you really have to work it, and you really got to make it a priority. And by the way, you got to have a really good haunted house to film. So make sure your haunted house is very photogenic and it's full of great Halloween experiences. So that's my take on it. And I hope, and by the way, I want to say that I've invited Tyler from Scare Factor to come to the darkness during Transworld, okay? Because in my opinion, he is an influencer and he's doing a very positive thing for the haunted house industry. So I look forward to having him come. And I would like to know what other influencers are planning to come to St. Louis, because a lot of them do for Transworld. We want to invite them all to come to the darkness. We want them all to come. And we've opened our doors to all of them, and I think it's really helped us quite a bit. Now, keep in mind, 8% of the video views that these people get when they're a national influencer aren't in your local town. But it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing at all. But the most important influencers are the ones that are right, in your community. And those are the ones that you need to focus on the most. The ones that have the big Instagram pages, the Facebook pages, if you can find somebody who has a big YouTube page in your vicinity, these are the influencers you should mostly focus on. And I think it's very important. And look at me, I was able to, a combination, a small piece of growing our social media is from influencers, and having them properly tag you, I think it can really benefit you. So I hope you liked our actors room. And if you come to our behind the scenes tour, you will get to see the final version. You will get to see it all set up. It'll all be cleaned. Look at all the dust on all the chairs. I mean, you could write your name in them. But we'll get it all set up, and we look forward to having that tour and seeing everybody at Transworld, and building our new haunted house and everything else. And until then, we'll talk to you later.